us having company today and having some my guest nieces in the house, letting my son know that he don't get nearly as much discipline as he's supposed to get because he gets to say and do a lot more than he should.
I don't know, that's what they said.
Without the thunder. But no, church was amazing. Really liked the word today. We listened to Pastor Greg discuss a concept that I don't think people really talk about a lot. When there's one passage in the Bible that always sticks out to me. If you know about it, it's the Romans, it's the Paul dealing with the flesh, like having the willingness to want to do right and not, and then not wanting to do wrong and then doing wrong. So he taught it out of Galatians today. Out of, I want to say in the first few chapters, I want to say chapter 5, but it was hitting on that same concept. But today Pastor Greg got into what that could be, like why he got into the why of what Paul was getting into. And I just thought it was interesting. He mentioned appetite. Through my various studying, I've come across some different concepts that I think make sense in a physical way that represents spiritual things. So one of those things is,
going to church.
I personally feel that a lot of the mental illnesses or diseases are possessions. I think they like demonic possessions and a form of invasion, especially when you see like these multiple personalities, or when people got some aspect about them that overtakes their whole. Yeah, I think that's another type something system being or whatever inside of you. But
Where are you going?
I like to get this.
Just go straight. There's no traffic.
Oh yeah, I messed it up.
We can get over now.
It's all good, no?
Why did you want to get over before?
I wanted to get over there.
But there were cones there.
Still wanted to get over there.
Oh my goodness. What was the purpose of that?
I wanted that lane.
But you couldn't even get over there. But now that it's free, you don't want to get over there.
Now that you said that, I'm like, you're right. I need to take that lane.
You never get in that lane. Why were you taking that lane?
For some reason, I wanted to get in that lane today.
That was weird.
But no, it was, I think I got a lot of learning, or just some really good listening and observing of dealt with fear, appetite.
Oh, you're alive.
I forgot the first,
Pride, fear, and appetite.
Pride, fear, and appetite. And I personally have, I've always felt blessed. I've always felt like God been looking out, always, like literally in everything. I don't think I'm prideful, but I've definitely took some prideful losses, especially in this world or realm of judging people. And not judging people to be like mean or critical, but it's like if you're doing things, like for instance, when I was growing up, if you're doing things that my mother give me whoopings or thunder for, I'm not doing them. And I'm gonna look at you probably as like not a great person, you know, or something like, start off as something as simple as that. But that stuff gets you in, I think it gets you in spiritual trouble, because I think in the world it can be helpful or healthy to categorize people, categorize things to, you know, make it healthy or not. But ultimately, I think God wants us helping any and everybody. But my layers of pride when it came to how I'm choosing to live versus how you're choosing to live. Now that I'm older, I realize God just be looking out, and I need to really just stay really in his realm and sphere of influence and suggestions and ideas and his word. But like, no, when I was younger, I was just better than you. I'm not gonna front. I was super arrogant, especially if you're just doing stuff that I don't even like to talk about, because I'll be doing it now. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you treat people crazy, when you looking through pride and different insecurities and stuff, ultimately what's going to happen is you're going to have to experience it, at least for my case with the pride. But even with like being a sibling, like I still, like I want to be the favorite sibling. Still, we like not even kids no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting in no work toward that no more. It's just what I want. I just won't be the, you know. So there's a lot to think about. Because that last challenging question that he gave us a call to actually say, is anything in your life with these three topics, pride, fear, and appetite, that kept you, I think what he said, from the will of God or out of the will? Oh yes, yes, I done struck out probably a dozen times. It was a dozen strikeouts, 12 times 3. Let's do 3 times 100. I done probably struck out at least over 300 times. So my quick, short testimony after all that is like, God still got you. I mean, look at Paul. Paul was persecuting and murdering people, yo. And then God stopped him at Damascus, redirected him. It was a lot, man. Y'all gotta go check out that. Y'all gotta go check out that. I'm gonna have to listen to it again. I'm interested what the 12 o'clock service gonna be like. I think he's gonna probably get another practice session in on that. Baby, did you have anything you wanted to? It was hitting.
No, I thought it was a really good message this week. I liked it. I like that he just, talked about really, well, like he said, his favorite verse in that in Galatians was just faith expressed through love.
Yeah.
And I think we forget about that a lot as Christians, that it's faith expressed through love, and it's an expression. It's not telling somebody what to do. It's not condemning somebody. It's just loving everybody through whatever they're going through, because none of us are perfect, right? All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. And I think we like to pick and point at other people's sins. He talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
But sin is sin, and that's something like we always, we're like, oh, well, you did this, which is worse than what I did, so you're a worse sinner. But God says sin is sin. He didn't say like, oh, you sinned, but you did a level 1 sin and he did a level 2 sin. Like, that's not a thing. And there was like, when I was in college, like a long time ago, there was this, no, I was not saying I was like that.
I'm saying I was really like that in college. Like, I'm not doing what you're doing, therefore I think I'm better off or better, or I'm not as bad as you. But like, that was a great example of like, y'all might have been doing that just because I deem it lower or low key, does not make it okay at all. But it is easier, like Jesus said, take that speck out of your own eye. It's easier to see somebody else doing ill, and it's best to just look at yourself. That's one thing I do. Look at myself, challenge myself. All right, my fault.
Yeah, no, I was saying, like, when I was in college, I saw this meme one time that said, like, don't judge someone else because they sin differently than you. And that always stayed with me, because it's like, yeah, it's just you're sinning differently and I'm judging you on that. But there's still, and then I like how you read that second verse, like, if there is somebody who is struggling, like, come alongside them and be with them and help them through it, bear each other's burdens. So we are called to help each other through the struggles that we have, but it's not like I'm better than you. And it's always in love. It's always in that desire to help them be better and to also grow yourself as well. So
yeah, even that last little piece of that verse, I think it was Galatians. I know it's in Galatians 5, but the last part of it was like, yeah, your duty is to help them in love, but it's also to be cautious because you may be tempted as well. So like,
well, that was Galatians 6.
Galatians 6, like we have
6:2.
we have to be willing to help and wanting to help, but you also take a risk every time you help, so to speak, with a chance at being tempted. So I thought, I mean, that's interesting. That's interesting. Because I would think the people you would want to help first would probably be friends and family. And I can see how helping a stranger is a little bit more detached. You can help them get in and get out. But like when you help a family, you might spend extended time with them. I don't know. I just think that's interesting. Like, you're supposed to help but you gotta watch it because you can be tempted to. So great word, man. We're not gonna keep this one too long. I might do another part later because the kids is itching to talk in the back. Miles wants music. He's been really good so far for this ride. But great word. Hopefully I can get with the fellas later tonight. Like, share, and subscribe. Tune into Custodial Christian. It's still like another 2. I don't think the second one church session has started, or the other one. Y'all get with it, man.
What is it? One church
on YouTube is live. You can start it now, pause it, get back to it later.
Next service starts at 10:45.
Yeah, 10:45 is the next service, and 12 something. 12:30. But great, and we didn't even get into like it was a lot of, as the new people say, gems in there. A lot of gems in there in terms of I like the way it provokes my mind to get better with Christ. A lot of people be scared of convictions. That's one thing I pray for all the time. Is especially since I'm the first step was when I had wifey. Not that I birthed her or anything, but like once I gained a wife, keep in mind I was with the missus. We was together for nearly 10 years before we got married. But like after we got married, definitely felt a bigger sense of responsibility. Same kind of thing happened when I had my son too, but even more so because he's like a little helpless little baby boy out there, came out ready to eat. Like first 2 minutes. Yeah, but I pray for the convictions because now, before it was just my soul, but being in this role, in this leadership role of my family, like I may impact them way more strongly. And I think that's the way God designed it, but I pray for the convictions because we got to get better, right? We got to get healthy. And like I said, I just feel more responsible for these two and knowing my actions could harm them and hinder them because they depend on me. So don't be scared of the convictions because I think God be wanting to fix you up nicely if you come to him like that versus if he got to redirect your course of like, and even that is still love, which I've learned through experience, unfortunately. Even his corrections, they will be more stern. You will go through some worldly adversity. But it's all in love to get you right and good standing because God want to bless you. He want to bless the people around you through you, but he gotta be able to work with and through you. So that's all I'm gonna leave with. But I love y'all, man. Thank all y'all for tuning in. It's been going up and up and up every week. I do not like when people don't merge on the freeway, right? Like it's not that complicated. See what I'm saying? My appetite in traffic right there. I wanted to retaliate.
You need patience.
See, don't ever think that I'll be acting. I ain't got it together. Ask wifey, she'd never air me out like that. I'm trying to get to heaven. That's the goal, man. I love y'all. You can end this video. Hit that like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. Share to like-minded people and local people, especially if you're down in Columbus. We up in the second row every Sunday up front, unless it's baptism. Then we probably in the fourth row. Peace. Shalom. Shalom.
I don't know how to end this.
It should be an X.
Are you sure you want to stop?
Yes.